You're telling me someone secured a special grade cursed object in a place like this? Haha. Recovering it should be no problem then. A thermohygrometer shed? Ryomen Sukuna. The shed is empty. There's nothing here. Huh? No going home until it's recovered, okay? Gonna hit you for real this time. For real? That's hilarious. I'm gonna punch you. The scene starts with Itadori Yuji, a first-year student at Sugisawa High School, gathering in the occult research club room with two second-year students, Sasaki and Iguchi. They're playing a spiritual game called Kokuri-san, which is similar to using a Ouija board, where they try to communicate with spirits. As they play, the board reveals that the student council president will lose to a clone, and the group laughs about the message. Just then, the club president, who looks strict, interrupts them, warning that the occult club might lose its room since they haven't submitted any activity reports. Yuji confronts the president, standing up for the club and jokingly defending the honor of his senpai. They all laugh it off, and then the conversation shifts to a mysterious story about the school's rugby field. The field was shut down after athletes fell ill, claiming to have heard strange voices before collapsing. Sasaki then shares a newspaper article from 30 years ago, detailing a strange event linked to the school's construction. It talks about Yoshida, a missing construction worker. She speculates that his spirit haunts the field, leading the group to joke that his body might be buried there. The scene continues with Itadori and his occult research club friends confronting the school council president, who insists their club is meaningless and says the recent strange happenings were caused by ticks. Undeterred, Itadori argues that the occult club serves a purpose by investigating mysteries, although the president points out they don't even have enough members. Itadori then faces pressure from Takagi-sensei, the athletics club advisor, who wants him to compete at nationals. Itadori agrees to a contest. If Takagi wins, Itadori will join the team, but if he loses, he'll give up. Meanwhile, another character senses a powerful cursed charm nearby and realizes he must recover it. As he searches, we're shown a disturbing creature near the rugby field, a potential curse from the charm. Just as the chapter intensifies, Takagi challenges Itadori to a shot put contest, bringing suspense and a hint of supernatural mystery to their athletic duel. The scene opens with Itadori Yuji competing in a shot put contest against Takagi-sensei, who insists he should join the athletics club because of his remarkable strength. Takagi, confident in his own abilities, makes an impressive throw that leaves the crowd whispering about Itadori's reputation. Some even joke he might be a legendary martial artist reborn. When Itadori's turn comes, he casually asks if he can throw however he wants, showing his usual laid-back attitude. With a single effortless motion, he launches the shot put, throwing it far beyond Takagi's mark. The crowd is stunned and even Takagi is speechless. Afterward, Itadori heads to the hospital to visit his grandfather, who's critically ill. In a heartfelt conversation, his grandfather advises him to use his strength to help people, even if they don't always appreciate it. He reflects on his own life, admitting he lived somewhat isolated and doesn't want the same for Yuji. This advice leaves a deep impact on Itadori, who listens intently, trying to hold back his emotions. Suddenly, Itadori realizes his grandfather has quietly passed away. The weight of his final words stays with him, setting him on a path of compassion and selflessness, which will guide his actions going forward. Though shaken by the loss, Itadori decides to honor his grandfather's last wish, to help others whenever he can, even if it's difficult or unappreciated. Following his grandfather's death, Itadori is at the hospital handling paperwork when he's approached by a mysterious student named Fushiguro from a sorcery school. Fushiguro urgently asks about a powerful cursed charm, which Itadori had found and given to his friends in the occult research club. Fushiguro explains that curses, dark entities created by human negativity, are often drawn to schools and hospitals due to lingering emotions. This cursed charm, which Itadori's friends are holding, is highly dangerous and could attract deadly curses. As the two talk, Itadori realizes his friends might be in grave danger. Meanwhile, his friends at school have broken the seal on the charm, revealing a decayed human finger. This unexpected horror frightens them, and as they unwittingly release a powerful curse, Itadori and Fushiguro rush to the school to try and stop it. Fushiguro explains that the charm seal is very weak, making it dangerous for anyone without magical powers. Realizing the urgency, Itadori and Fushiguro race to the school, knowing the danger is imminent and hoping they're not too late to save his friends from the unleashed curse. Yuji Itadori senses an ominous pressure from the school building. Although he's skeptical about the existence of curses, he feels compelled to act. As he tries to follow, Megumi orders him to stay back, but Yuji insists, declaring he can't abandon his friends. Inside, the situation grows dire. One of the students, trembling in fear, witnesses a grotesque creature lurking in the hall. Its distorted voice mutters, "What time is it?" Another student tries to reassure her, only to reveal his face, warped and monstrous. Suddenly, Fushiguro appears, ready to face the danger head-on. He summons his Shikigami, a pair of ferocious black hounds, with a fierce command, "Jade Hounds!" The spectral dogs tear into the curse, but more creatures seem to gather. Outside, Yuji questions his own fear, the memory of his grandfather's last words, to help others whenever he can, pushes him forward. With newfound resolve, he decides to join the fight, crashing through a fourth-story window, determined to protect his friends no matter the risk. Yuji Itadori stands outside the school, feeling the oppressive pressure emanating from the building. His inner thoughts swirl in fear and confusion, asking himself, "What am I really afraid of?" He remembers his late grandfather's words about helping others and feels a new determination, realizing that fear isn't his only response to death. Inside, Fushiguro's dog summons run through the hallways, sensing that the number of curses has multiplied. Fushiguro himself can feel the danger growing as he races to find the cursed item. Meanwhile, inside a classroom, one of Itadori's friends is struggling in the grasp of a grotesque, monstrous curse. She's desperate, realizing she won't survive the encounter. Fushiguro spots the curse and realizes it's planning to consume the charm, intensifying the situation. Just then, in a dramatic moment, Yuji bursts through the fourth-floor window, crashing into the room. Fushiguro shouts in shock, seeing Itadori's unexpected leap and worried about the consequences of his recklessness. Inside a tense hallway, Itadori and Fushiguro face off against a monstrous curse. Itadori dives into the fight, his face set with determination, as he recalls his grandfather's words about living with purpose. "You died the proper way, Grandpa," he mutters, thinking of the path he's chosen. The curse lunges, grotesque limbs reaching out, but Itadori moves swiftly. Fushiguro, summoning his own strength, leaps in to help. "This is the wrong kind of death," he shouts, referring to the twisted, unnatural form before them. Amid the chaos, Fushiguro's Shikigami, powerful, wolf-like beasts, tear into the creature. The curse howls, struggling against their combined might. Itadori stands firm, grappling with the curse's monstrous limbs. "It's dangerous, but I'll fight," he declares, facing his fear head-on. As they catch their breath, Fushiguro reveals the truth about the curse, calling it the double-faced specter. The fight might be over, but the threat looms, and they realize this is only the beginning. The scene opens with a sense of urgency as Fushiguro shouts, "Run away!" Itadori's face is determined, but the danger is looming. Fushiguro's loyal Shikigami wolves leap forward, creating a brief opening amidst the chaos. Just then, a powerful, monstrous creature bursts into the scene with intense force. Its presence is overwhelming. Fushiguro attempts to hold it back, positioning himself to protect his friends. The scene intensifies with the creature roaring, sending shockwaves through the room. Fushiguro braces himself, summoning his energy and shouting the command, "Chimera!" He prepares for an all-out battle, putting everything on the line to protect everyone from the terrifying beast. The monster's claws swipe dangerously close to Fushiguro, but he stands firm, ready for the fight. The air is filled with tension as he faces off against this formidable opponent, unshaken and prepared for what's next. In these action-packed panels, we see Fushiguro taking a devastating hit, smashing through the wall with sheer force. He crashes backward, clearly hurt, with blood dripping from his wounds. He's staggering, fighting to stay on his feet, despite the impact. His expression is one of grim determination as he clutches his side, trying to gather his strength for what's next. Itadori, watching his friend take such a powerful hit, shouts out in alarm, desperately calling for Fushiguro. He's worried and ready to spring into action. Fushiguro's loyal Shikigami, the twin wolf spirits, stand beside him, teeth bared, as if sharing in his fierce resolve to protect and fight. Their loyalty is clear as they prepare to join him in battle. Then the scene shifts outside, where the monstrous curse barrels through the air, roaring as it slams down onto a nearby rooftop, creating a thunderous impact. Fushiguro, battered and struggling, pulls himself back up, his face showing the strain of battle. He mutters to himself, noting that his magical formula was interrupted. His head feels muddled, but his resolve is as strong as ever, standing tall against the relentless curse. Despite the pain and exhaustion, he's ready for the next phase of this brutal fight, gathering his strength to face the powerful curse that threatens them all. In these panels, the battle intensifies as Itadori, driven by sheer willpower, leaps forward, his fist clenched tightly. He lands a direct punch on the cursed spirit with incredible force, his expression fierce. Fushiguro watches, shocked at Itadori's strength, thinking, that damned strength of his. Itadori glances at Fushiguro and, showing concern, asks, "Are you okay?" Despite his injury, Fushiguro urges him to run, but Itadori defies him, responding confidently, "Are you in the position to say that?" As a menacing cursed spirit approaches, Itadori's resolve hardens. Thoughts of helping people echo in his mind, a reminder of his grandfather's words. He decides he can't back down now, saying, "If I go home now, I'll have nightmares." The cursed spirit lunges, but Itadori fearlessly slaps its hand away and swiftly kicks it back. Despite his valiant efforts, Fushiguro, observing closely, thinks to himself, "It's useless, no matter how strong you are." Yuji, battered and weakened, slides down to the ground as the intense battle takes its toll. Fushiguro looks over and tells him something chilling. You can only exorcise curses with curses. In other words, to fight back, he needs cursed energy himself. Yuji takes a moment to process this, as Fushiguro reveals the true danger at hand. The curse monster isn't just attacking at random. It's after a powerful object known as a cursed finger. And if the creature consumes it, it will gain a frightening amount of power. Yuji realizes that if he can't stop it, everyone he cares about could be in grave danger. Desperate to save his friends, Yuji thinks of a daring, almost reckless plan. He asks Fushiguro, "If I gain magical powers, that's all it takes, right?" And then, with fierce resolve, Yuji prepares to do the unthinkable. Instead of letting the curse monster devour the finger and become stronger, he decides to eat the finger himself. Risking his own life, he raises the cursed object to his mouth, fully aware that consuming it could bring unknown consequences. But for Yuji, protecting the people around him is worth any sacrifice. With one last determined look, he opens his mouth, ready to face whatever comes next. Itadori, in a desperate move, reaches for a cursed finger and prepares to swallow it. His friend Fushiguro, wide-eyed and panicked, shouts at him to stop, calling him an idiot. But Itadori doesn't hesitate. As he gulps down the cursed finger, Fushiguro yells, "That's a high-grade cursed charm. It's poison. You'll die." But Itadori knows the risk. He senses there's a slim chance he'll survive, 1 in 10,000, but it's worth it if it can save everyone. Suddenly, his body convulses as the intense cursed energy courses through him. His eyes go wild, transforming into something monstrous. Roaring with raw power, he charges forward, frightening even the monstrous curse that looms ahead. As Itadori's new twisted form rushes the curse, his face twists with an eerie smile and laughter, now possessed by the malevolent spirit within the finger. Fushiguro watches, stunned, as Itadori, with newfound strength, confronts the curse head-on. He's no longer just himself. He's something much more powerful, and maybe far more dangerous. The cursed charm has taken full control of Itadori's body, transforming him into an unrestrained, demonic figure, laughing in twisted delight. Fushiguro is horrified, realizing this is the worst possible scenario. Itadori's body, now overtaken by this ancient curse, shows no remorse, no hesitation, and revels in its newfound freedom. With a gleeful look of malice, the curse examines the surrounding area and bellows, Where is everyone? Where are the women? It sneers at the sight of humanity, muttering disdainfully about how people crawl around like insects. But there's something almost joyful in its words, as if it's been waiting centuries for this chance. Rushing to a rooftop, it stares out over the city below, its face twisting into a maniacal grin. With arms stretched wide, it howls into the night. How wonderful it is to massacre. The promise of violence and chaos hangs in the air as the cursed spirit prepares to unleash its fury. In these panels, we see a tense confrontation between Itadori, who is now under the control of a powerful curse, and Fushiguro, his friend and fellow exorcist. The cursed entity, in control of Itadori's body, suddenly clasps his own neck, inspecting the sensation, almost as if testing out this new vessel. Fushiguro stands back, visibly shocked at the sight. And the curse then taunts Fushiguro, demanding he give it back, meaning Itadori's body, clearly unwilling to relinquish control. Fushiguro, taken aback, struggles to grasp the reality that his friend has been overtaken by a deadly entity. Despite the curse's intimidating words, Fushiguro stands firm, strategizing his next move. And as tension rises, Fushiguro declares with grim determination, "By the rule of magic, Itadori Yuji, you are no longer human." He categorizes Itadori as a curse, marking his friend for exorcism, even if it means taking drastic measures. With these words, Fushiguro positions himself as Itadori's judge, ready to perform an exorcism to rid his friend of the curse, knowing the stakes are now higher than ever. The chapter ends on a cliffhanger, leaving us uncertain about the fate of Itadori and Fushiguro's resolve to confront this dark, cursed presence.